I'm going to run through the format of your English home language paper 2. That is your literature paper, and you'll see that it's quite a bulky paper and it can get very confusing, but hopefully this will help you when you are confronted with that question paper that looks like it's a novel on its own, right? So I'm using the 2021 English home language paper 2 as our sample. There you can see it, and you can see this question paper has 26 pages, but don't worry, you don't have to waste time reading all those 26 pages. You can just go to the instruction sheet. I'll just give you a summary of this to help you understand what you need to look out for when you do your paper 2. And I want you to just focus on instruction number 3, which is that this question paper consists of 3 sections. So there you have your 3 sections. There's section A, which is the poetry for 30 marks, section B, which is the novel, and your section C, which is the drama of 25 marks. The total marks for this question, for this paper, is 80, right? And then instruction number 4 is also very important. It says there very clearly that you have to answer 5 questions in all, right? 3 of the questions must come from section A, so that's the poetry section. 1 of the questions must come from section B, that's your novel section, and 1 question must come from section C, right? So I want to flip right to page 4, because I think page 4 gives us a nice summary. Page 4, let's look at the table of contents. Basically, this is what you're going to see in the exam. You're going to see section A, and you will get 4 questions that will be based on poems that you have studied, right? And of those 4 questions, you must answer 2. So you must make your selection. Are you going to answer questions 1 and 2? If you answer 1 and 2, it means that you're going to ignore questions 3 and 4. Right? Let's say again, you may decide, no, I know this poem better, First Day After War, which is question 2. And I like the questions on Felix Randall, the other poem that I studied. So I want to do questions 2 and 4, which means that I am going to not even look at those questions on questions 1 and 3. Okay, so you make your selection. You must just, at the end of the day, have 2 questions that you have answered on the prescribed poems that you have studied. So there are your 2 questions. Then you must answer the unseen poetry. That is question 5. So everybody must answer question 5. Your choices are here 1, 2, 3, and 4, but this is compulsory. Everybody must answer 5. I know I am repeating myself here, but this must be answered. So you have, when you're done with your poetry section A, you'll see you have 2 questions answered there and 1. So that gives you your 3. When you get to section B, which is your novel, then you'll see with your novel, you have quite a few questions here, but don't get confused, right? Even the same applies to section C. Don't get confused when you see all these questions. Focus only on the novel that you have studied. So here's section B. If you did the picture of Dorian Gray, you will only look at question 6 or question 7 and make your selection. You will ignore this novel because you did not study that novel. Does that make sense? Okay. The same applies to section C. If you get to section C and you say, right, we studied Hamlet, we did not study Othello and the Crucible, then automatically you will not look at these questions at all. You won't waste time. You will just focus on the questions on Hamlet. Okay? That's the first thing you have to determine. Which novel did you study? And then that will determine which questions you can attempt. Then you look at what drama you studied and look at what questions you can attempt. Okay, that's the first step. The second step is, if you look at your instructions, it says when you get to the novel and the drama questions, you must decide either you must answer the contextual questions, in other words, those questions that are based on a passage that you are given, like a comprehension, and then you can answer those questions on the novel, or there could be an essay question based on the novel that you can answer, right? So those are the two types of questions that you get. Same applies to the drama. There will be a passage from the drama and questions will be set on it. So that is your contextual question. And then you will also have an essay question, right? So here you can see um, you have for picture of Dorian, the essay question, and then you have the contextual question. The same with the drama, essay question, contextual question. Your instruction will tell you that you must make a choice. You cannot answer both contextual questions for your novel and your drama, right? You must do a contextual and you must do an essay. So if you decide, now what color can we use here so that we're not too dramatic, but let's say you decide that you would like to attempt the contextual question in the novel, this one, then it automatically means that you must then do, it is then compulsory for you to do the essay question in the drama. Okay? Should you choose to do the essay in for the novel, let's say you choose to do the essay for the novel, then you must do the contextual question for your drama. Okay? That is prescribed. That is an instruction. So yes, after all this mess, you will then have, you can see the checklist, poetry. You must answer 2 questions. You make your selection and then you answer those 2 questions. You must do the unseen poem, right? And then when you get to the novel, you must decide, right? I have decided to do the contextual question for the novel. And so therefore, I must choose the essay question for the drama to ensure that I have answered or selected the correct questions. And then once you've done that, Bob's your uncle, and hopefully your brain is firing on all fours, and you've just done amazing. See you next time.